Hello folks, I'm just going to try and explain to you what an RMD file is, or at least why I think you might be interested in them. So here's the practical from week 4, which was the one we had on the 29th of January. And the practical link you followed was this one that took you to a web page. So during that web page there were various parts that asked you to produce some of your own code where I hadn't exactly told you what code to write in. You had to try and work it out for yourself. So there's bits here, for example, can you extract the 14th value in the column? So those answers, they all actually exist in the RMD file. And the RMD file is what I use to write the practical. So RMD stands for R Markdown, and that just means a sort of plain text file with special tags in it to show how it should be viewed or rendered, perhaps you say. So if you follow the link to this, it will load in your browser just as plain text. So all the text in here is what you get in your HTML file. So here you can see there's that section there about the something you need to do online, something you need to do on your computer, something you need to do in RStudio, and something you need to think about and answer. And those little bits at the beginning are just the images that appeared. So as you go through the practical, you'll find sections here that say coding answer. So here is the piece of code that gets that 14th value out of the column. So everywhere where you asked a question in the practical will appear in the RMD file with a label on it saying coding answer and then some code. Okay. So the reason this doesn't show in the HTML file is because I put some special arguments in here that mean that the code gets executed in R, but it doesn't get made into the web page. So this gets slightly more complicated as well. So for later on we have practicals. This is a 2-sample t-test practical, 1 and 2 sample t-test practical. And in this practical, we're starting to get to the stage where we're doing some more thinking as well as just coding. So there's questions here about the statistics. What do you think? Do you think this is a 1-sample or a 2-sample test, for example? So the answer is not in the HTML file, but it is in the RMD file. So if I follow the link to the RMD file, you can see here, instead of it saying coding answer, there you go, do you think this is a 1-sample or 2-sample test? Then it says thinking answer, and here's what I think the answer is. So maybe I'll just quickly show you why I think R is quite as awesome as it really is, by showing you what you can do with these files. So I've got R here. So you can just look at that file in the browser, that RMD file, but you can also open it in R. So I'm going to open one of those practicals. So let's get that number 2 file, RMD file. So you can see I've opened the RMD file here, and it looks exactly the same as it did in the browser. It's just that the syntax now is highlighted a bit. So you can see some of the headings here are more obvious. So once it's in the RMD file, you can actually open it in R and you can run the code. So I'm just going to set my working directory to this source file to make sure it runs properly. And then I can, let's say, run that bit of code just by putting my cursor on the line and clicking run. See, now I've read that pigeon data file in. And the same goes for all the other bits of code. So here's a coding answer here. I'm changing the name, and then I'm drawing the histogram. So there you go, and there's my histogram. So all the code that you need is actually in the RMD files. So you're not abandoned with no answers. So this is why I think R is really awesome. So you can run those RMD files, but what's even better for me is that I can write the web pages. So I've written this code here, I've written it all out tidy, I've put in images, I've got bits of code, some of which like go out to the web page and some of which don't show. And I click this knit HTML button here. And you can see what it's doing there is knitting it. And here is the HTML. So I'm just going to open that in my browser. So here's the practical that's just been made from knitting that RMD file. And you can see the bits that I decided I didn't want to see in the HTML file aren't there, and the bits that I did want to see are there. So that's why one of the reasons why R is so awesome. Bye for now.